Jason and basketball too.
Listen, she said this is...
I am drowning, barely surviving, not being able to make repairs because the house is now falling apart.
You know
and
I did not really gauge all the maintenance that it took to take care of a house.
Home ownership is often sold as the ultimate dream, but for many people, the reality looks very different. I'm Cynara, here to bring you news and insights related to housing, investing, and real estate. Please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it.
Transparency post. I regret buying a house. I regret it a lot. If I could go back to January 2022, I would tell that girl, do not. Just find another apartment to move into, because doing all this shit that I have to do for this house and all the unexpected costs, high dollar unexpected costs that I keep running into, to be handling it by myself, is ass. So to all you young women who want to go out and buy a home, I encourage you to really, really think about it. Talk to some people and really see the ins and outs. I mean, it always sounds good. Oh yeah, your mortgage is only going to be $1,000 until they reevaluate your property taxes, and that bitch goes up $200. You know, it's trash. 85 degrees, your AC is going to go out. You don't want to know how much that costs. It's trash.
Came in and bought a house when I was 26 and fell immediately into poverty. Okay, when I lived with my parents, I was living my best luxury lifestyle. I went to South Korea, bought a 2000 plane ticket, didn't even blink twice. I went shopping, luxury goods, all that. Was traveling, was just, I was living it up. I felt rich. I had no bills. And I had a full-time 9-to-5 job. I was working as a nurse, okay? I was killing it. I bought my own house. That first mortgage payment came in and I was like, oh, this is a situation. But at first you think you can handle it, right? Like, what's a couple thou? What's a couple thou? I got it. But then the pipes in my 80-year-old home broke immediately as soon as I bought the house. Wiped out my savings. Then another pipe in a different area of the house broke. Okay, I'm struggling. Okay, I need help. Then my neighbor's pipe, it was a twin house, her pipe broke. And she didn't believe that her pipe broke, but her pipe broke on my side of the house. So all of that water that was coming down was spraying into my home. And then my water heater broke. When I tell y'all, I went from living in the lap of luxury to destitute immediately.
Behind the keys, the closing day photos, and the finally a homeowner post comes something nobody really prepares you for. The repairs you didn't expect. The maintenance that never ends. The property taxes that keep rising, and insurance premiums that go up when your paycheck doesn't. For some homeowners, it starts to feel less like freedom and more like pressure. When the AC breaks, when the roof leaks, when the escrow jumps, when an emergency wipes out your savings. And suddenly, the house you worked so hard to buy starts to feel like a financial trap instead of a blessing.
We've been talking about the real estate crash happening in Florida, and one of the reasons it's just getting so unaffordable in Florida is for reasons like this right here. Lynn writes, my insurance policy for homeowners just went up $5,000 a year. Now, just imagine you go to buy your house, and when all of us have bought a house, we thought that house payment was going to be our house payment forever. But it isn't, is it? Especially when you start to consider taxes go up and insurance goes up. And especially in Florida right now, they are looking at increases, a yearly increase of 10, 15, sometimes over 20%. And it just makes the house unaffordable. So more and more policies like this are going to be hitting homeowners, and homeowners are going to be saying, I've had enough. And they're checking out in Florida right now, and that's why Florida real estate is crashing right now and in the foreseeable future. We're talking about for the next 3-4 years.
All right, I'm going to go on a quick rant real quickly about homeowners insurance. I'm getting in my truck, so bear with me. So I want to see if anybody else is experiencing this. So last year, my homeowner's insurance for the year was $3,018. Okay. Year before that, it was $2,600. Year before that, $2,200. Year before that, $2,100. I'm on this house for 4 years. So it's went from $2,100 4 years ago to I just got my renewal quote. Remember, 2024 was $3,018. This year, my homeowner's insurance is over $6,000. No claims in the last 4 years. I've never had a claim against the house I'm living in now. But my insurance just doubled. Homeowner's insurance doubled year over year with no claims. I'm just curious. I'm in South Carolina. Is anybody else seeing this? And what are you doing about it to combat it? Because I need some tips and tricks.
Top of the morning, gorgeous people. Y'all see this house behind me? The property tax bill when it just shot up over 80% this past weekend. I've been waiting for the bill. I knew it was coming down the pipeline, and I was just waiting to see what it was going to be. My property taxes shot up last year from $49.19 to $89.07. 49.19 to $89.07, y'all. That is a $332 a month increase in my mortgage just from property taxes. Insurance rates have been going up around here. I haven't seen the increase on that yet, but I know it's coming down the pipeline as well. The cheapest my mortgage has been here, I've been here 6 years. The cheapest my mortgage has ever been here was $1,005, which I know is a blessing. Most recently, in the past year and a half, my mortgage has been $1,120, and with now this new increase is soon going to rise to $1,452, which I know when a lot of people hear this, that is still a blessing. I'm understanding that a lot of people's mortgages are $2,000, $3,000, and $4,000. But when you go from $1,000 to $1,120 to $1,452, that's still that's a massive increase. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be thinking, hey, do a homestead, or that's illegal. They can only raise it 2 or 3% in a year. Well, unfortunately, there are no statewide regulations on mill rates or property tax percentage increases per year in the state of Connecticut. These people can do whatever they want. I don't know how, but they are, and obviously they can, because they're raising my property taxes 81%. But what this reminds me most of is never get comfortable. You can never get comfortable. Even if you got a great job right now and you think you make great income right now, you never know 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, these bills are not going down. They're only going up. So you may be comfortable now, but if you get a $500 increase, a $600 increase in your mortgage, a $200 increase in your insurance rates on your home, it may not be so comfortable anymore. So always be looking for more. And I really feel bad for the people who live in this town, the elderly, the retired, the people on fixed income, because they're not going to be able to afford and I don't have a big house. I promise you, this is a starter home plus in this town. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home. There are plenty of people with 2,500, 3,000 square foot homes in this town. I promise you, this is a starter home. I call it a starter home plus. So to pay $8,900 a year in property taxes on this house is insane to me. I really wonder what the people who got the $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 houses in this town property taxes are going to be. They're going to get bumped to freaking $16,000, $20,000 a year. It's sick. These local governments are eating, and we got to stay on our toes, man. Never get comfortable.
I bought my house in 2020. And she was an older home, okay? I was a first-time home buyer. I was like really excited because homeownership, the American dream. And I was buying at like the best rates. I didn't even know what that meant, but they were like, these are the lowest rates in history. And people were like, this is a good deal. So I bought it. At the time when I bought it, I had a boyfriend who was living with me. And he was a really handy guy. And I was just like, oh, well, all the things that need to be fixed, he can just fix. He's a man. But then he left me. And so I was in that house. Just me. And I'm not handy, okay, at all. Like I can barely screw in a light bulb kind of thing. So then things were breaking all the time, and I had to hire somebody to come fix it all the time. And I was like, damn, this is expensive. And I can't really afford this. Like I can't afford, and I was making good money at this time. I can't afford to own this home, maintain this home, and then also keep my sanity. I can't do that. I lived in it for a year, and it really like sucked the happiness and joy from me. I put so much money into this house. I wasn't even fixing it up. I was just living there. I spent so much money because there was always like a water problem, an electricity problem, some furniture that's breaking, some appliance that's breaking. And I did get a home warranty, which I would absolutely 100% recommend. But a home warranty does not mean that you're not having to pay for the appliances when they are fixed. They're just at a discounted rate. I didn't realize that either when I got the home warranty. But I have everything. I wish that was something that I would have done when I first moved in. It would have saved me so much money. So in about July of last year, I was just like, oh my God, this is it. I can't do this anymore. I'm selling this house. And it was like a really hard decision for me because just like you, I felt like this guilt, like, oh my God, I am selling my house. Most people can't even afford a house. Like, I'm being so ungrateful. All I gotta do is put a little work in it. But I'm telling you, like, I was bleeding money.
So I'm gonna keep it 100 with ya. I told ya I got this house in Dallas, Texas for like around $375 or whatever. Living in a nice area. And I don't know if this shit is worth it, bro. Not only did I put $10,000 out of my savings, this $3,000 mortgage, man, I am literally house poor. Like, I don't know if just having my own space is worth not being able to do anything else. Like, I miss having a little apartment and going out and doing whatever I want and buying whatever I want. And I understand the long-term investment and all that shit, but I don't even care about money. And I make $124. Like, I feel I shouldn't have to work a fucking side job.
I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse with our house. We bought about a $500,000 home.
Okay.
And we make about $10,000 every month.
Okay. How much is your mortgage payment?
$4,000.
Okay. Yeah. That's why you're feeling that. You're about 40% of your income, and we would suggest that you be somewhere around 25%.
I became a homeowner at 22 years old, and I instantly regretted that shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you why I regretted it, though. So I ended up putting $78,000 down on my house, right? And once you get your house, right, you become house poor. Okay? Now, everybody's not gonna be house poor. I was house poor. I'm just speaking from my experience, bro. I'm young as shit, buying a house. I'm house poor at this point. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I did not really gauge all the maintenance that it took to take care of a house. On top of that, I had to put work into the house. They sold us the house, right? Sold the house with mold in it. How did I not know it was mold in it? Did you not get an inspector? Yeah, I had an inspector. This what these dirty, nasty, gritty people did. Scantless, right? They painted over the mold so thick that the detectors couldn't get it. And it didn't even smell like mold down there, nothing. It was all dry, right? So I had to go in, get the walls chopped out, get the house waterproofed, whatever that came up to. So this is just more stuff you got to come out of. But all in all, I would say that I really regretted it once I figured out how much the maintenance was, bro. And like how often you got to do certain things. And obviously it makes it a little sweeter that it's your shit and it's an investment. But for me personally, I just was not ready for that. Now the house is about to sell.
I am selling my house and I'm getting ready to move back with my parents yet again. I am single. I do have a 9-to-5 job where it does not pay me nearly enough to cover the bills. And I've had this house for about 3 years now, and I am just exhausted. I am drowning, barely surviving, not being able to make repairs because the house is now falling apart and I have no money in my savings to fix it. I have been saving for the past 3 years. All I've been doing is working and going straight home. I don't go out. I don't spend money on like coffee or anything. I try to save as much money as possible so I could get some money to make repairs for this house to make it nice and comfortable and livable. But I am at my wit's end now and I'm just tired. I honestly want to leave my job, my 9-to-5 job that's not paying me well enough to even cover the bills. I'm exhausted. I want to leave, but then I'm stuck with this house and I just don't want any of it anymore. So I'm selling it. I don't know what my plans are going to be after I sell my house and maybe leave this 9-to-5 job that I'm at. But we're just going to figure it out. So I'm going to sell my house and go back to living with my parents, unfortunately.
None of this means home ownership is a mistake, but it does mean it isn't just about qualifying for a mortgage. It's about being able to afford the house after you've bought it. Because the real cost of owning a home isn't just the monthly payment, it's everything that comes with it. And too many people find that out too late.